Selamlar, and welcome back to the Ottoman campaign and Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. So before I click next turn, let's see. American Task Force. Not that big. Heading here. Let's send out some battlecruisers. To here. 4 battlecruisers, 4 destroyers. It's not a huge force. But it should be sufficient. What do we got here? 2 lights and a destroyer. Send out the Izmir. Should be able to handle that. Are you in? You are in the circle. Good. And you're in the circle. Also good. Very nice. Let's see. Have I started any naval invasions this turn? Where are you heading, France? Yeah, you were heading there. So we're gonna get that battle, I think. These ones are heading back to the Caribbean. It's another huge force. Big force right here. 5 battleships, 2 battlecruisers. And they're gonna join up with another battleship. That seems like a worthy enemy for my my greatest task force. There we go. Right, so we should have quite a few battles lined up. If I just check shipbuilding capacity, I think a lot of my ships have been repaired now. I can resume. No, that was too much, apparently. Yeah. That was too much. So this has to be suspended a little bit more. A little bit longer. That's okay. Right. Let's see what kind of battles we... first of all, naval invasions, of course. I don't want to miss out on a chance to naval invade something. But what and where? They're gonna take neither from me. Moving out from Dahomey. I don't think I have any ships in the region right now. This one can take care of that. But that will not be this turn. Sulawesi? From France? Can I take that one? No. Take southern France, Belgium, or western France. I don't really have the tonnage to do that kind of a naval invasion. Well, I do, but not while I also have to fight like actual enemy forces. How about the Americans? Maldives. It'll do. Where is that? I should probably know. Before starting an invasion there. Anyway, it's gonna pop up next turn. I can just send some ships there then. Right. No alliances, thank you. Our port is getting struck. I thought I sent out my battlecruisers to defend against this. No, it's La Coronia getting struck. Because they just sailed past it. Alright. We're gonna get a cruiser-on-cruiser fight first. There's the Maldives, okay. Nice. I could just send a light cruiser there. It should be an even fight. We both have 9-point-something-inch guns. Roughly same speed. Right. So they got an AXY layout. Three triple turrets. Alright. The 7-inch main belt. 2.8 on the second. I can still not pen that, though. That's not, like, super thick, but... the 9-inch guns are just not punchy enough. What kind of extended belts do you have? 1.1. That's equal to 2.8 on the first inner deck. I cannot pen that either. Even at max range. If these cruisers receive another refit, I think I'm gonna give them heavy shells and maybe something else. Give them a bit more punch. Go partial pen. We've scored the first bit of damage. They had a torpedo range of 15, so we are in range. They've launched. Let me just switch to 8. I'm gonna be eating some aft belt pens now, probably. They got their tower. I'm trying to maneuver a lot to bleed speed. So the torpedoes will just sail past me. There they are. we've done some flooding. I'm holding up to their secondary fire. That's good, because they got a lot of secondary guns. More flooding. But not permanent. It would be nice if I could start knocking out those torpedo launchers. Because they got a lot of crew on them. Or potentially knocking out some main gun turrets. That would be nice if we could do that. Triple base and dunite. Also super heavy shells. So hitting those main gun turrets, that should result in some explosions. You got 5,000 meters, we should be able to end those. 8.4 on the turret face. They ran out of torpedoes. I did not blow up their launchers, they just ran out. So, they have launched. There they are. Now we're punishing them. And there's that flash fire. I kind of missed it, but I was gonna get a nice screenshot of the column, the blue column of flame. But as often is the case, I was just a couple seconds too late. There we go, we sank the enemy heavy cruiser. So that's a good result for a 1v1. A bit of damage taken, but not too severe. Right, next one. It's a big one. Outnumbered by quite a bit. Donegal class battleship. So Northumberland, we've seen those before. 2 episodes ago. 20-inch guns, but only Mark IIIs, so their range is not the greatest. It's actually not bad. I think they've got like a 35-kilometer range. This one, though, is that newer or older? It's got better armor quality, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's also quite slow. King Edward. Also another one. We got 3 different classes of battleship in this battle. Prince Consort, I think that's the... No, that's not the one we saw in the previous one with Britain 2 episodes ago. Because that one had 12 18-inch guns. And a 30 something knot top speed. So this is different. This is also different. So we're going to be encountering a lot of boats we haven't seen yet. Nimrod class destroyer. I don't know if we've seen those either. They got a lot of torpedoes. They got 12 torpedoes per salvo. That's pretty good. 4th class light cruisers do not carry torpedoes. Good to know. Right. So, in our corner, we got the old Janissary class battlecruisers, refit with Mark V 15-inch guns. They're quite good. But the new Sultan Osman class battleships with the 20.5-inch guns, Mark IV. And the Sahi class battleships with the Mark IV 18s. Right, so only ships I got here, capital ships with Mark V guns, with really good range, are these 2 old battlecruisers, actually. Right, let's see what we can do. Right, so, looks like some interesting contraptions here. Get my stuff organized. All my battleships are already in line. Battle cruisers, they are in the same task force because they got the same top speed as these modern battleships. Murad 3 class light cruiser. You're gonna be my little scout. Torpedo boats are already all formed up. That's good to see. The destroyers are kind of clipping into my cruisers. But they're also all formed up. Very nice. And we got some old-ish heavy cruisers here. In the form of the old Z class. But they're also in this task force because they also have a 28 knot top speed. Same as the battleships. But now they just have to slow down a bit. Let the battleships pass in front. Let's take a look at these enemy ships. Because I'm kind of curious to see what we're up against. Northumberland, we've seen you before. Hector, same class. Penelope, also a Northumberland. But Repulse, you're something else. Mark II 18s, okay. You're not that scary, you're kind of old then. Mark III 18s. I mean, good armor. Prince Consort, what's your deal? Mark 3 18s, 27 kilometer. You do not have the third layer. Also 140% quality. I thought you had 190. I must have, yeah, this is the one. That's more decent armor. Mark 3 17s. Okay, so, I mean, they're not that far behind. I got the Mark 4 really big guns very recently. It's just that the AI is less active when it comes to refitting ships. And when they do, they typically just make them worse. My 18.5's 37 kilometer range. And his 15s are almost 40 kilometers. The big 20's 38. But you'll notice the range and deck penetration is not quite up there with the Mark 5 16s. So they're not really as good yet as the Mark 5 16s on my modernized battlecruisers. Dreadnoughts, modernized dreadnoughts that we saw in the previous 2 battles. But they will be, given time and a couple of refits. And we've already scored an aft deck pen on a cruiser. So here I was worried that my Mark IV guns would not reliably score deck penetrations. Seems to not be something I have to worry too much about. Actually, you can just keep pace with the battleships. Now, torpedo boats. Gonna bring you in closer to torpedo those battleships, but that destroyer screen is kind of zoning you out. Let's see what we can do here. Torpedo. 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 And also torpedo. So I need to bring you in a little bit closer. That could get risky, but smoke up. You too. Torpedo boats are launching. Have they all launched? You've launched. You. Good. destroyers. It's your turn to launch torpedoes. That's something. The battleships are maneuvering. Not sure if I'm gonna be hitting that much. Lost one torpedo boat. The other three seems to be getting out. You're going to be detaching. You three need to continue on a little bit further till you drop all your torpedoes. Yeah, we're getting torpedo hits, alright. Now let's pick out some targets for the big guns. Let's start with the battle cruisers. You got the most range. Donegal and Repulse. And my big 20-inch guns. Then the 18s. And is there anything here you can just shower with secondary shells? Andromeda, maybe. Nice. Well, the cruisers have already spread out their fire pretty good. I might not get as many torpedo hits on the battleships as I'd hoped. I think I'll get some. Just retreat, you got no torpedoes left. We are getting torpedo hits on the battle cruisers and the battleships. Let me just get a quick screenshot of all this carnage going on. Actually, that's a better one. Let's see. like that, maybe? Still want to get these cruisers in behind the battleships. Division 11. That is you. You just have to go home. But you three... you come here. Might need you. You're Division 6. Two intact torpedo boats. A lot of crippled ships sailing around here. 17.2 kilometer torpedo range. Launched against something, I'm not sure what. Possibly my torpedo boats. Prince Consort is almost done. Northumberland and Hector not doing too hot. And we lost the one crippled destroyer, but these three are in good shape. This crippled torpedo boat is getting out alive. That's good for them. And these two are actually ready to go right now. And my 15s have actually done a lot of damage. 20-inch guns have so far been a little bit disappointing. But those damage numbers also depend a lot on what kind of targets they've been firing at. Yeah, we're partial penning the main belt here. So we're gonna need 35 inches of penetration. To go through that third layer, which we don't have at that kind of range. Bring in the torpedo boats. See if we can get some torpedoes on these two battle cruisers. Foredeck pen on Penelope. Nice. So we are in deck hit territory now. My two torpedo boats are taking fire now from the enemy battle cruisers. Penelope goes down. Not quite in torpedo range yet. Well, inflexible is. Prince Consort, not yet. Not from dash 3. But I'm just gonna put them on launch. Destroyers are ready. Ooh. That's an ugly hit. Didn't really deserve taking that. You got your torpedoes away. And those torps are probably going to do damage equaling many times the cost of this torpedo boat. If they hit something, that is. One dead torpedo on Inflexible, one live torpedo on Iris. We're gonna get Prince Consort as well, looks like it. With two, probably gonna be the end of her. I think it is. Yes. We got a main deck partial pen on Inflexible. No, that's an aft belt pen. Looking at the wrong ship. Now, I need to pick out some new targets for my battleships, because I think they're all firing at something. Set the secondary guns to target Iris. .5s. 20. 20. 18.5s can finish off Hector. And all your secondary guns, Iris is veering away. That doesn't matter. Let's see, 15s. You can start picking on some heavy cruisers, I think. Ten-inch guns don't really have the range, but if those enemy destroyers start coming close, we're gonna have a job to do. Poles took some pretty big hits. I think Inflexible is gonna sink now too. Very soon. Yeah, there she goes. Two. One. And sunk. Repulse. Sinks just a couple seconds after. And I see a big cluster of ships here. Let's have these 18s do some work. '20s can focus the battleships still. I don't think I'm gonna need my destroyers to do another torpedo run. We got this battle pretty much in the bank. Yeah, there we go. Big damage in the middle of the cluster. I think we're gonna sink Donegal now. Donegal has done a lot of damage. Presumably to destroyers and torpedo boats. That's what the refit Janissaries look like. Mark 5 15-inch turrets are just, you know, the typical American battleship turrets. The Mark 4 20-inch guns, or the Mark 4 20-inch turrets, rather, were very difficult to fit. I had to do a lot of adjustments to make it work. They were just so much bigger than the Mark 3s. But they look better, and the performance is quite a bit better. I wonder what kind of turrets the Mark 5s are going to be for the 20s and the 18s. If they're going to remain these very big French-style turrets, or we're going to get the... there goes Donegal. Or if we're going to get the same as the Mark 5 15s. The American-style ones. Which are a lot smaller. And that would free up a lot of space. Northumberland is still afloat. She can't really fight back effectively. Let's get our gun line in closer at the enemy. I don't need all 4 of my battleships to focus a single destroyer. That is not necessary at all. 20-inch guns can focus Northumberland. The 18s start taking out heavy cruisers. '15s as well. I might leave the destroyers for my heavy cruiser escort. And the secondary guns on the battleships, of course. Northumberland still hanging in there. Needs a little bit of flooding on the stern to go down. Let's try and weave the heavy cruisers through the battleship line without causing too much of a disturbance. Alright, I'm gonna slightly bother the battle cruiser, that's fine. Good. Big guns are still on target. Spread out the love from the 10-inch guns as well. Trying to get like the muzzle flash in the background. This is a better angle. Yes. Right. With that taken care of, let's get on with gunning down the remaining enemy ships. Scotsman is gonna sink. I think that's the last of their destroyers. The enemy battleship is sunk. There you go. Myth sinks due to heavy fire. Extensive fire, excuse me. After an aft belt 10. I hit you, Cambrian. For what? 100,000? Not quite 100,000, but it's a bunch of 18.5 inch heads. Pretty much simultaneously. Right. So that was like 100,000 combined. Getting some more big hits coming in. Another main belt pen from a 20-inch gun. For almost 60,000. Bristol goes down. Not a lot of targets left now. One heavy and two lights, and that's it. Serpent sinks. Venus is also gonna sink. 4%. 3. St. George vaporized by multiple 18.5-inch hits. And there we go. That's the last ship. $875,000 victory points. We're sinking 27 enemy ships for the loss of 3. That is 1 destroyer and 2 torpedo boats. That's not bad. And I think I've got most of my ammo remaining. The main guns are not like... Because this percentage here includes all the secondary rounds, which of course were not used much because they were never in range. Let's see, who did the most here in terms of damage? Suleiman. Almost 350,000. 18-inch guns. Oh wait, Sahi. Also 18s. 450,000. The 20s are a little bit behind that, but they were spending a lot more time firing at battleships, which of course have damage reduction, or more damage reduction typically than cruisers and such. Also not bad with the 15s on the 2 battle cruisers. The lost torpedo boats, these all did a lot. That no, wait, that's damage received. Duh, dummy. Yeah, these did quite a bit. 169,000 for 94 too. Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely getting my money's worth out of those torpedo boats. Even if their survival rate has dropped a lot now that the enemy ships have radar and better like gun direction, but they're also a lot more effective with those long-range torpedoes. So I'm gonna keep building them. Definitely not obsolete, despite being 1890s ships. Right, so this will be in the next one. American battleships. Rook's class. 19.1s. Wait. Different classes. ABX. 19.1s. Or possibly it could be any kind of arrangement really, but 3 times 3. 4 times 2, 19.3. Des Moines class. Alright. Lower armor quality, so it could be older. This could be newer. I'm not sure. We're gonna have to find out whenever we fight these. Which could be next time, unless the game decides to, when I load in, give me another battle instead. I've got a lot of meetings lined up. So, this month is gonna be covered in multiple episodes. Goodbye, and take care.